What if I told you that the most valuable part of an elephant, its tusks, nearly caused its extinction, until a single, unprecedented global decision turned the tide almost overnight? Picture the African savanna in the 1980s. A landscape of giants. Herds of elephants, some with tusks so long they scraped the ground, moving like slow, gray mountains under the sun. But something was terribly wrong. In the span of just one decade, over half of all African elephants vanished. Not from disease, not from drought. They were being slaughtered systematically for their ivory. At the peak of the crisis, up to 100,000 elephants were killed each year. That's one elephant every 15 minutes. The math was simple and brutal. At that rate, wild elephants would be gone from most of Africa by the year 2000. The world was watching a massacre in slow motion, and it seemed nothing could stop it. But then, something unprecedented happened. A coalition of nations did what many thought was impossible. They banned the international trade of ivory entirely. To understand why this ban was so revolutionary and so controversial, we have to go back to the beginning. For centuries, ivory was a symbol of status and artistry. From intricate carvings in Asia to piano keys and billiard balls in the West, the demand was insatiable. But in the 20th century, with modern weapons and growing wealth in consumer countries, the scale of killing exploded. Poaching became industrialized. Helicopters, night vision goggles, and automatic rifles were used to take down entire family groups. The elephants that remained were traumatized, fleeing at the scent of humans, their social structures shattered. By 1989, the situation was so dire that conservationists issued a final, desperate warning. The African elephant was on a direct path to extinction. Something radical had to be done. That year, at a major global wildlife trade summit, a proposal was put forward to list the African elephant on Appendix I of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, CITES. This would make all commercial trade of ivory across international borders illegal. The debate was fierce. Some African nations argued that a ban would devastate their economies and punish communities that relied on sustainable hunting. Others warned that without a ban, there would be no elephants left to manage. The world held its breath. And then the vote passed. The international ivory trade was shut down. What followed was one of the most dramatic conservation turnarounds ever recorded. Almost immediately, the legal market for ivory collapsed. Prices plummeted. Overnight, poaching lost its financial incentive in many regions. In Kenya, where elephant populations had fallen from 130,000 to just 16,000 in 15 years, the ban was enforced with new urgency. Anti-poaching patrols were strengthened. Seizures of illegal ivory made global headlines. For the first time in decades, elephant numbers in key strongholds began to stabilize and even slowly increase. It was a moment of profound hope, proof that when the world acts together, it can change the fate of a species. But the story doesn't end there. Because the ban, while powerful, also created a new set of challenges. With the legal market gone, the ivory trade was driven entirely underground. Criminal syndicates adapted, creating sophisticated smuggling networks. Corruption at ports and borders became a major obstacle. And in some countries, elephant herds began to recover so well that they came into increasing conflict with farmers, trampling crops and threatening livelihoods. This led to a fierce and ongoing debate. Should we allow controlled, legal sales of stockpiled ivory to fund conservation and benefit local communities? Or would that reopen the door to laundering illegal ivory and reignite demand? This tension came to a head in 1999 and again in 2008, when limited, one-off sales of stockpiled ivory were approved to Japan and China. The results were deeply controversial. Some conservationists argued the sales provided crucial funds for park management. Others warned they sent a mixed message to consumers and stimulated fresh demand. And tragically, in the years following the 2008 sale, poaching rates surged again. It became clear that the ban was a shield, not a permanent solution. It had to be defended, reinforced, and adapted, which brings us to today. The ivory ban remains in place, but the battle is far from over. On one hand, it's an undeniable success story. Elephant populations in southern Africa, for instance, have rebounded significantly. Global awareness is higher than ever. Many countries have destroyed their ivory stockpiles in public ceremonies, sending a powerful message that ivory is worthless unless on a living elephant. But on the other hand, poaching continues in Central and West Africa, fueled by persistent demand. The very existence of the ban has created a paradox. By making ivory rare and illegal, it has, in some circles, made it even more desirable as a status symbol. So, where does that leave us? The lesson of the ivory ban is not that we found a simple fix. The lesson is that saving a species requires constant vigilance. It's a cycle of action and reaction. The ban was a monumental first step. It gave the elephants a chance to breathe, to recover. But it also revealed the deeper, more complex truth that the fate of the elephant is tied to economics, to culture, to international law, and to the daily choices of millions of people. The ban didn't end the war for the elephants. It just changed the battlefield. What do you think? Should the ivory ban be absolute forever, or is there a place for limited, controlled trade to help fund conservation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Rare Species for more deep dives into the world's most pressing wildlife stories.